Welcome back, seniors. This is the second slideshow of the series for the senior project posters. This will be the example section of the slideshow. We're going to go ahead and start with below basic and work our way up to advanced. So our first poster here, pretty obviously a below basic. This person and all the below basics are blacked out of their names for the privacy, so you don't give, if you know these students, a hard time about their terrible posters. But you can tell with this poster, right? This person just rushed through it. There's fingerprints all over it. It's a complete mess. The name and senior project 2007 aren't even centered. The picture's not cited. Yeah, it's just a complete mess. It's not, I don't think I have to go into too much detail why this one received a below basic and the student had to redo the project. All right, so second example here, we have, first of all, it is horizontally. We do not want a horizontal poster. It needs to be vertical. The second part is way too cluttered with images. It just takes away from the project altogether. Then we also have this State of the Union title. But what about the State of the Union? We really need a byline here, a subtitle. I don't know what your project's about. Are you talking about the speech that the president gives? Are you talking about the state of the nation? We don't know. So yeah, if we don't know that, then basically you are going to have to redo the poster. And yeah, this project or this one is just pretty terrible. And you can't see the name, but I mean, the student took a marker and just wrote their name in the middle of it. Yeah, pretty tacky. Not too much of a surprise why this one got a below basic standing. So you might be a little surprised about this one. But mainly the reason this one deserved below basic is, first of all, it is so cluttered. The title is hard to read. And there's just multiple things. I mean, there's a byline here, healthy snacks for teens, but it's kind of interrupted by this giant logo for Valley Girls Food Stuff, which have nothing to do with the project. And it's really sad because the Valley Girls Food Stuff's become the focal point. I don't even look at the right bite right away. I look at Valley Girls Food Stuff and I'm like, what? All right, this is an advertisement for a company here. The other thing this student did was they put 2013 way bigger than their name. The 2013 should have been down there by their name as that big black box down there on the lower left-hand corner. But their name should have been that where that 2013 was. It could have been a lot simpler. So even though that this student obviously took the time to cut all these labels out and glue it nicely, it still deserves a below basic just due to the unorganization of the images. So our next section we'll cover is a basic poster. So this is our first basic poster. And you might say, well, this looks pretty nice. Well, yeah, the border is really nice. The color combination is really nice. And really well executed cutting out of the Girl Scout logo. There's just a few problems with this poster. The first thing is Girl Scouting. The title. So what about Girl Scouting? Are you a Girl Scout? Did you mentor Girl Scouts? What did you do? What is the project? Also the creativity factor, right? Yeah, she took the time out to cut all these nice little Girl Scout logos out, but it's not creative at all. It's a logo. It's an established logo where we could have really had maybe an image of the student with the Girl Scouts or whatever the project was more about. The other thing is I would love to see her name a little larger and above the Senior Project 2008 and the Senior Project 2008 a little smaller underneath that. So that's the reason this person got a basic level standing on the rubric. So this one's really nice, but it's still a basic poster. And really the only reason it's a basic poster is the lack of a subtitle or byline. Yeah, we have a great title, the Special Olympics, but what did you do with the Special Olympics? Did you mentor athletes in the Special Olympics? Were you a part of the Special Olympics? We need to know a little more about this project. However, the creativity, right? I mean, beautiful photographs with the hand-colored basketball and great use of borders and framing. I mean, you can't get much better than that. There is a little problem with some of the cutting up above as the borders of the lines for the Special Olympics part. It was a little messy. And the other thing is, Rachel, I really would have loved to see your name larger in the Senior Project 2009, maybe even in a separate box. The other problem with this poster, and the reason it is in the basic level, it was not cited correctly as well. For our third basic poster, we have abalone diving here. Pretty basic poster. I mean, you get best description for it, right? Pretty boring background. You just see the white poster board. I mean, they kept with the one color theme. They did frame everything in. The title is bigger than the name in the Senior Project, so all that's correct. I mean, a nice, high quality graphic image. One of the biggest problems, besides the background and the lack of creativity, is the title. Once again, we were missing a byline, a subtitle. What about abalone diving? We need to know a little more. Were you training people to abalone dive? Were you learning how to abalone dive? We don't know. So that's part of the reason that this one received a basic rating. Our next category is the proficient rating. So our first proficient, right, you say, well, this poster's pretty good. Well, yeah, it's got a great illustration. Obviously, Brianna drew this. But if you notice in that upper left-hand corner, the seam line in the construction paper, you can also notice right around there that the cutting is not so clean. We also have the problem of no subtitle byline. We have making my own masterpiece, and yeah, I can guess that you're probably making some sort of art piece, but I'd like to know a little more. Are you doing a painting? Are you doing printmaking? What kind of masterpiece? Maybe you're doing a mural, but we don't know. And the other part is the coloring of making my own masterpiece. It's a little hard to read with the lighter and the weird text. The name is good. It's larger than the Senior Project 2013. The one thing I would also say is it's a little clustered with the title, the name, and the Senior Project 2013. I would have kind of liked to see that spaced down a little more, and it would look a lot nicer. And I think that's, I mean, with the quality and the craftsmanship, I mean, a few changes, and this would have easily gotten to advanced level, but without those changes, that's the reason it was rated at proficient level. Our second proficient poster, a great example of using 3D objects, right? The needle, stethoscope, thermometer, and Band-Aid are all 3D objects. They've all withstood the test of time. They're definitely on there. Beautiful color combination. The name is a little larger than the Senior Project 2013. The main reason this one wouldn't receive an advanced level is because of the lack of a byline or subtitle. So, right, we have the title of nursing, but I really don't know, what did you do with nursing? Did you train with nurses? What about nursing? It's just too broad. We would love to have a little more information about what you did for this project. For our third proficient, we have one of the Staples professionally printed one. And I want to just state a little bit about the professional printing. Some of them can turn out nice, but a lot of times the craftsmanship of one that's more handmade, you're going to probably go a little farther than the Staples. But if you do have all the requirements, as you'll see in the advanced level, we do have a Staples poster. You do have to mount that to a piece of cardboard, but a lot of them do turn out nice if you would like to go digital. So horsemanship here, we do have a proficient level, mainly because of the lack of the byline and subtitle. What about horsemanship? Were you grooming the horses? Were you training the horses tricks? Yeah, and I mean, the image wasn't cited correctly. Also, it was not MLA format. It was cited, but it was not MLA formatted. And yeah, so we have the tailor and the name. All that's the right sizing. So pretty much the subtitle byline cited correctly. This poster would have received an advanced level. Unfortunately, because of those lack of those elements, that it ends up being a proficient level poster. So now we get to our cream of the crop. We have our advanced level posters here, and this is what you all should be aiming for. So our first one, we have another one of the Staples professionally printed ones. We have a great title, Action. Grabs you, right? Grabs the viewer. Then we have a nice byline there, Learning the Art of Professional Filmmaking. We have a nice image. The background could be a little distracting, but I think it actually kind of brings a little more because with the lights, it kind of represents, you know, filming movies with all the lights in the background. Notice the name is larger than the Senior Project 2013. If we were to look on the back, everything is MLA cited. They have the rubric. Yeah, you can't get much better than this. It's really good. So that's why Greg received an advanced rating on his poster. For our second advanced poster, you'll notice this one doesn't have a byline, but it doesn't really need one. Muraling with kids, right? As the title, it just stands out, and it's just, yeah, you don't need a byline. Great imagery, everything cited of the mural. Also, a lot of creativity. Beautiful color combo. They hand drew all the muraling with kids in the Senior Project and their name. They did all the hand cutting of the drips and so on. It definitely received an advanced rating due to all this creativity, and you can tell that the student really put a lot of time into it. My one criticism of this poster is I would have liked to see Senior Project 2010 a little smaller than the name. But otherwise, that would be my only criticism, and it is a beautiful poster, and that's why it received an advanced level rating. For our last poster of the advanced level, we have environmental education. Beautiful byline and title, right? Teaching kids to respect the earth. You'll notice they do have more than 3 images, but it doesn't really take away from the poster. Great color combination, and then all of it's properly cited on the back, and so on. Beautifully executed, no glue marks, and so on. If you can guess already, my one criticism would be I would have liked to see her name a little larger than the Senior Project 2009. However, the art department would make an exception for this poster just due to the creativity and just how well done it was. So that wraps up our example slideshow. If you have any further questions, please come to the art rooms, talk to Mr. Anderson, Mrs. Kuprian, or Mr. Mitchell. We will help guide you to get to the advanced level poster. And please come to our workshops on the Wednesdays that I had mentioned before at lunch in H9. Also, you can come in during A+ or advisory to seek some more help. Hopefully, you can keep clicking on this if you need a little more guidance with it, just to give you an example of what a good poster is. Good luck on your Senior Project posters, and yeah, I hope this is helpful for you. Thank you.